Good. Okay. Well, today our otaku spies, they got word from our friends at Best Car about the super high performance version of the Toyota Supra, the Supra GRMN. For those familiar with the GRMN name, it stands for Gazoo Racing Meister of Nürburgring. So, it's kind of a weird thing. So, but what is Gazoo? Everyone always asks me, so what the hell is Gazoo? Well, I mean, the Gazoo is a word based on gazo, which means picture or image in Japanese, right? So about 20 years ago, Akio Toyoda, who was before he became president of Toyota, wanted to, he was very ambitious and he wanted to change the structure of the company. And most of the head brass there really didn't take him seriously at the time, so I heard, or so our otakus heard. But he introduced at that time a new online system using images of cars for the reselling of used cars. And he named this internet site Gazoo.com. And because it was something that he created back in the day, he holds it close to his heart. So that's why the word Gazoo still exists in Toyota lore today. And Akio Toyoda has not, he doesn't want to let it go. He wants to be part of the Toyota culture. So back to the Supra. We all know that the Supra's powertrain is made by BMW. Yikes, but it's no secret now. And it's only natural that the M3, M4 power plant would also make its way into the Japanese car, the Supra. And our sources tell us that it will, and it will happen sooner than you think. The Supra GRMN is slated to make its appearance in 2023. So we're still a ways off. So we're giving you this information.
Yeah,
really.
I like how Sam led with it's going to be there sooner than you think. Actually, it's going to be 3 years.
Well, 3 years isn't that, it's not that far off because when to me, it's not that far off. For impatient guys like you, James, I think it might be different. But what?
Did you just say MS Paint guys like me? Because I was going to ask if this photograph was edited in MS Paint.
Impatient.
What's MS?
No.
What the heck are you talking about? Okay, so sorry.
Microsoft Paint.
My American accent kind of difficult for you to follow me?
It is. You need to speak the Queen's English, Sam. We need to have lessons about this again.
Okay, well, but the catch we hear is that only 200 units will be made. So that's going to kind of make it a instant classic or collector's car. But it will come with the turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged from the M3 and M4. So in the BMWs, right now, this power plant makes 450 horsepower. And we know that. And we know that the race prep Supra that ran the 24 hours of Nürburgring, right, packed a lot more power. Actually, probably packed a lot more power. And so we know that Supra chassis can easily handle an extra, 100 plus horsepower of the current Supra's 335 horsepower. But rumors are that BMW first balked at letting Toyota use this M-Power engines, but Supra chief engineer, guys who our friend, right, Mr. Tada, worked day and night to convince the Germans to hand it over, which they eventually did. And it kind of makes you wonder what kind of deal was worked out behind the scenes, because it seems like BMW just said, hey, man, the M power plant is our jewel in the crown. Come on, man. And I think Tada says, hey, no, we want it. This is what we'll give you. But so anyways, Tada is planning to use the 520 horsepower version of this engine that's introduced in the latest M4 into the Supra GRMN, which means that the Supra will no longer be kind of compared to the Z4 anymore. It'll be more of an M car. Well, at least the GRMN version will be. And the engine will come mated to the BMW's 7-speed MDCT gearbox, so the 7-speed paddle shifter. So we gave our calculator to our otaku spies, and they're really good at math and figuring things out, probably like some of your engineers over there, Jan, at your race team. And they calculated that the Supra GRMN will run from 0 to 60 in less than 3.5 seconds and reach the quarter mile in about 11.5. So that's pretty quick. So if you compare that to the Nissan GTR, which is a little more of an expensive car, I think the Supra GR MN will be, it's the Supra GR MN is a step slower. The GTR comparatively will get to 60 miles in about 3 seconds. So half a second there right now. And these are still estimates. So, but the quarter mile time is about the same. So you wonder if you could credit the Nissan's all-wheel drive system, gives it an advantage at launch, right? Because, you know, it could get off the line quicker. And then, you know, the GRMN could catch up. But that said, around the racetrack, I think it'll be anyone's call which one's going to be quicker. It might beat the Supra because it's a two-seater, and it might be, you know, it's smaller and lighter and more nimble. So we, you know, everyone says, hey, Toyota ran the 24 hours of Nürburgring in the Supra race car because they knew a car like this was going to come. So maybe this was in the planning for a long time, and usually driving behind, you know, driving behind the steering wheel is a racer called Morizo at the 24 hours of Nürburgring. And Taro, do you know who Morizo is?
Morizo's Toyota.
Yep, he is. That's Akio Toyota.
Yeah,
is one of the drivers. And do you know why he uses the name Morizo?
I have no idea.
It was meant to keep his identity hidden because, you know, as you can guess, the president of a large multi-billion-dollar company is usually not really allowed to partake in dangerous activities, you know, like racing.
Well,
but then, you know,
I bet the insurance company had a.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, and the security guards, because, you know, I mean, like the president of Ford, GM, they travel with security guards, and they're not allowed to, you know, step into even a race car with even like Jann just giving them laps around the track.
Right. Right.
So, but, you know, Mr. Toyota isn't your average CEO. So, in any case, the experience and knowledge gained in that grueling 24-hour race will probably go a long way in helping Tada-san tune the chassis and make the Supra GRMN on par with cars like the Nissan GTR and, of course, the two BMW M's. And another bit of information, I don't know if you'll hear it here first, but we hear that, and future car collectors like you, James, maybe you, Taro, you guys, or you, maybe Jann, and since you're in Japan and you might be there, you know, in a couple of years, listen up. The Supra may end its production with this one model in 2025.
Really?
Yeah, there might not be a second generation model. There's rumors that it's done at 2025.
Oh, wow.
So the GRMN version may be the last model offered before it goes away forever. So that would be the, you know, the big finale, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. We haven't, you know, there's nothing official about price. You know, we're such a long ways away from the car being available that we can only guess at the price. And, you know, our otaku guys, as they're calculating, you know, said, you know, it is very feasible that's going to be around the $120,000 mark. So yeah, it won't be cheap, but it will be exclusive, and it'll probably be a collector's item, you know, we think. So Jann, what do you think about a Supra with the M engine in it?
You know, difficult to talk about with Toyota, but
well,
yeah.
I know it's Toyota, and you might. This is the regular model.
Yeah,
so, yeah. So you can see how, you know, it compares. It doesn't look too much too.
Yeah, we raced against this in Super GT, yeah.
Did they debut this the Supra last year, or is it from this year? This year.
Yeah, this year. And yeah, it's it looks, for a new car, it looks pretty funky. And with the purist in me, it's like, is it, you know, like cars from Japan, you know, they have like this aura, you know, like people in Europe and in America, it's like, you know, cars from Japan, especially 90s.
Oh, my computer froze.
It's like, oh, this is, you know, Japanese, and whereas that, it's like, is it really?
Well, you know, that's the same, you know, sentiment that a lot of the fans have as well. You know, they don't feel like it's a pure Supra.
Whereas the GTR, that's awesome. Japanese through and through. Whereas that, it's like, I don't know, you open the bonnet and you could probably, well, you can, I remember seeing some video, you can find some other German manufactured labels and logos in the engine bay. So
Have you seen the so the 2020 the new Supra will debut this weekend then, literally?
Yes. No. Will it? I can't remember. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. It's been so weird because it's been so long.
Yeah, yeah.
That's-
So have you seen it out on the test days or anything like
yeah,
that?
it's been for, I think we've had like 8 days testing so far this year, and yeah, we raced against it already, and yeah, it's all 3 manufacturers. They're very different in the way they design the car, and they've all got very different roof lines and aero, and yeah, GTR's been the same, you know, package for a long time now, so we're kind of perfecting it. Whereas
Yeah.
we're in Toyota, every 3 or 4 years is a new car.
Right. There's a big learning curve, I'm sure, with a completely new platform like that. But the Super GT Supra is not going to have the BMW power plant, is it?
No.
Right.
Like all of it, a regulation, we have to have a 2-liter or 2000 cc 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. So,
Okay. Right.
apart from that, you can do whatever you want. I'm sure there's other rules as well within the engine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's 2-liter 4-cylinder.
We lost Sam.
I think we did. I think he fell down a hole and he's not coming back. Is he knocking at your door? Is that what's happening?
My computer froze.
Yeah.
But
Right.
so, yeah, while we haven't got Sam here to steal the limelight, what's it like when you work with the engineers? How does that work when you go, for example, have a test session? Can you sort of talk a little bit about how that happens in regards to them asking you what you want to do or what you want to get out of a car or what you want to get out of a test session? And then how does that dialogue go? And what's some of the changes that you're able to make and things like that?
So usually we have a few meetings before the actual test day, and we'll have a plan. So we'll have our base setup, and then we'll have normally all the time we'll have a B setup, and then if we're completely in the dark before the test, we'll have a C setup. So make it easy. We'll have like a base setup, and then we say a medium spring set, and then we'll have a B setup which will have a soft set, and then maybe another setup which will have different damping. And we'll do the testing, and then if the engineers want to do a back-to-back, so we'll have like a set of dampers already made up, 4 dampers already made up, front and rear, soft set, put them on. Driver goes out again. They'll change it within like 5 to 10 minutes. Driver goes out, and then we give our feedback on that, on which direction to go forward. Usually on a race weekend, so this weekend we've got our baseline setup, and we know what to expect, really what we're going to expect going from the last test, but we've still got a B setup just in case. And when you have 2 drivers, a lot of the time we're of the same opinion, but sometimes it does happen where we have a completely different opinion, and that's when it becomes difficult for the engineer, because then he's got to think, okay, the engineer should just think performance. Anything else, driver comfort, anything else, it's just performance.
Yep.
And that's when an engineer has to kind of take the lead and go, okay, we're going in this direction. We need to just find the best performance possible for the car. Setup changes mainly on a race weekend. They're very small stuff. So normally we won't touch the spring rate, even though we've got a soft set, just in case. It would just be damping, roll bars, bump, rubber gaps, wing angle changes. But on a general test days, most of the time we have geometry changes, which is huge. It'll take like 40 minutes to change a geometry set on the car. Sometimes diff plate changes. You can have so much change in the car. Gear ratio is probably going to be fixed for this weekend. We won't change them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool, but you can lose your way. You should have like a plan of what you're going to change.
Yep.
And that, but sometimes it's happened where you can change so much and you just lose your way, and you don't know what's helped what. So normally you always change at the time to see if it's positive and negative.
Yeah, because if you change too many things, you won't you'll have a hard time figuring out what actually made those, performance changes, or, the feeling, right?
Yeah, but it can be frustrating, for a driver, because a lot of the time, well, I've been here racing 500 now. It's my 4th year in 500, and a lot of the time I know what these changes are going to do. So it's like, look, you can change 2 things at the same time and make up some time, not lose time, but sometimes you got to go over the process, because there's a process.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Talking about
cool.
another process is getting Sam Matani back on the show. I think is going to be.
I'm
another
here.
process.
Oh, there you
Can
are.
you hear me? I'm
Yeah, we
here,
hear
but
you.
my
We can hear
camera's
you.
not working. So, I'm using my iPod right now to get on, but the camera's not working. So because my damn computer takes like 10 minutes.
All I'll say is I really, really like that glamour shot that you had of Sam beforehand. It was very, looking very relaxed there in that glamour shot. I need to get some tips on that from that photographer on how to take photos like that.
What glamour shot?
There was an image of you in front with your shirt buttons like undone.
The
You had
headshot.
a little, the headshot. You were looking very handsome.
Oh, yeah, I got to change that. That's like about 9 years ago. So.
You could not tell. You could not tell at all, Sam.
You haven't aged a day, Sam.
No,
Thank
not
you
at all.
guys. Thank you guys. I hate to say what you guys are saying I hate to know what you guys are saying without me when I was off the air and couldn't hear what you guys were saying. So anyways, what was Jann didn't seem like he liked the Supra too much.
It's like, when it's a rival. So I'm like, that's the enemy right there for me.
Oh,
I like
okay.
it. I like Jan. I like the
okay.
way that Jan's thinking here.
All right, I like it.
Okay,
I get
like
it.
that. Yeah. He doesn't dig the Toyota and the BMW thing either. Like a lot of Supra.
Yeah,
Yes. Don't
like.
it's like it's an American car, it's a German car.
So should that mean then, should we talk about a Nissan car then, that Jan can be like, this is possibly one of the greatest cars I've ever seen in my
Oh
life?
yeah, let's do that. There's a car announced just today, right?